What's going on, everybody? I'm Zach Gleason. That's Gage Hamby coming at you live from the beautiful state of Texas on this Friday, April 2nd, 2021. Shout out Ariel Helwani. And this is Calf Kicks After Dark. Usually the last minute, last second podcast to get all your news and media before the fight. We usually post on Friday nights on YouTube, but sadly, there is no UFC event on Saturday, April 3rd. So I think we're just going to kick the can around. How's it going, Gage?
What's up, dog? Just
Not a
chilling.
whole bunch. What'd you think of the fights last weekend? Give me your first thoughts, reactions, initial comments. UFC 260.
I mean, for the most part, besides the heavyweight fight, I thought it went the way I kind of thought about it. There was a lot of knockouts. It was a very good card, I thought. For
No,
especially only being 4 fights, I think.
yeah,
Man.
they had one cut because the girl passed out she fainted on the weigh-in.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy.
No. That was an undercard. That was a prelim. This one only had 4 because
Volkanovski.
They had to pull the Ortega fight.
Yeah. I don't think they've rescheduled that one yet.
No, I don't think so either.
That's wild. All right. Well, let's talk about where we were right and wrong. Let's start with the only undercard that we talked about last week. Dude, Khabib's cousin, bro, that was kind of crazy. He did not take him down. I mean, maybe once or twice, I think.
Yeah.
But he stood up and boxed the shit out of the guy. I was genuinely surprised.
Those dudes are just, it's in their blood, I feel like. They're champs by nature. Like, it don't matter how they have to get the job done, but it's going to get done. Like, I don't know if it's going to be wrestling ground and pound or Islam choked the dude out. This dude just fucking boxed his face off. Like,
that was wild. I did not think that. Like, if you could have told me all the scenarios, that would have been the last one I would have picked.
I think the big thing about those Dagestani guys that we didn't really touch on last time is that the pressure is relentless. Like, they're all over their guys.
Cardio out the wazoo.
That's what I mean. Their output and their efficiency is incredible. And, like, they just completely smother people. That's absolutely how they end up breaking their opponents.
Speaking of Nurmagomedovs, God, that's such a hard word to say. His other cousin, Usman, is fighting Bellator, which we'll get to later.
Yes, we're definitely going to have to hit on Bellator later because this is a Patricio Pitbull card.
Hey, not many people know about him, not the casuals.
Dude, he never mind. We'll get on it later. We'll talk about Pitbull in a second. So back on the UFC 260 card. Sugar Sean looked good, man.
Dude, I mean, he fucked up by walking away like that, but sheesh.
Oh man, he totally framed the narrative perfect on that.
Oh, story. He did. I mean, he took control.
He came out and said, I wanted a highlight reel knockout, so I didn't want to smother him. I wanted him to get up.
Yeah.
I think that was a big thing, like, on this card that was kind of neglected there. You know, he probably could have ended the fight there, no doubt about it. But, you know, like, he was also very patient. Like, he kept his distance. Sugar Sean understands distance and reach about as good as anybody I've seen, and he kickboxes like a mug.
If he might be like one of the top 5 kickboxers in MMA.
Well, it's like the boxing coaches say, don't rob the store and then wait around for the cops to come get you. Sugar Sean was in and out. Like, he was, and he's incredibly, like, tall and long for being a 135er.
His leg held up pretty good. I mean, he got it hit pretty well.
Oh yeah. I would almost honestly kind of like to see him and Chito Vera run it back in his next fight. I know they were talking about Dominic Cruz, but personal opinion, I think Dominic Cruz and Jose Aldo's the fight right now.
No shot. I think Dominic Cruz versus O'Malley would be badass.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think Dom's going to get hurt.
Oh,
no disrespect to the former champ. He doesn't lose to anybody that's not one of the best in the world. And he obviously showed against Casey Kenny. He hasn't even lost a step. But I just think Sean O'Malley's that good, man. I think it would be interesting. I definitely would like to see it.
Can we talk about how ESPN needs to get fucking Daniel Cormier off the booth? And I prefer Dominic Cruz way better. Dude,
Dominic
I'm getting
Cruz, and you
tired
know
of
who's really
DC.
good? I like Michael Bisping a lot on the commentary. He's
I
getting
do
better.
too.
I
Yeah.
thought him and DC had a lot better chemistry the last fight he did when he stepped in for Rogan.
I don't know. Like DC states the obvious. I'm just like, bruh, calm down. It just
Yeah,
kind of annoys me.
yeah, he calls it like he sees it, I guess.
It's not my favorite. Anywho,
Yeah,
let's get on to where I was right. Tyron
yeah,
Woodley got his fucking ass beat again.
yeah. That was not pleasant, especially because you could tell how bad Tyron Woodley wanted to win that fight. Like he came out aggressive, guns blazing, and it just so happened that Vicente Luque used all of that against him.
Yeah, he got fucking smoked, son.
Well, especially once they got on the ground and the jiu-jitsu started happening, you could tell it was just like, what's the analogy I'm looking for? I guess it's kind of like a python. Like the more that Tyron struggled, the easier it was for Luque to slip that choke in and just slowly put him out.
Yeah,
Slowly get.
he was like a wet blanket on top.
Yeah, and like Woodley just struggled down there. He was like a fish out of water. He was just kind of flopping. It seemed like.
I told you he lost it, bro. He's out. They're cutting his ass. He's
Yeah,
done.
I don't, especially because it was so quick. Like it wasn't like that was at the end of the third round. Like it's not like he fought a good fight. Like no offense, but like that's the reason guys like Junior Dos Santos got cut. Not only because they were getting finished, Anderson Silva, they were getting finished quickly.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that
unfortunate.
wasn't dangerous necessarily in the same fashion, but it was just like, who's he gonna fight next? We're not gonna put the former champion of the world against a nobody.
He's middleweight, right?
No,
Or
he's a
welter,
welterweight. He's a
welter.
170.
Yeah. I don't know if they really want to throw his ass to the wolves when Kamaya comes back, just to give him the name. But I know
I don't
Kamaya
know
will
about
tear
all
him to
that.
shreds.
I don't know about all that. No, I think there's a triangle, and you know Kevin Holland just stepped up on 21 days, tied the record with Chimaev and Davison Figueiredo. 21 days in between fights. But
No, that's not the record, dog.
what
Kamaya
is
did it in 10.
Chimaev did 10?
Yeah,
No way.
dude, Google it. I'm telling you, last summer he kno-
Damn.
he knocked somebody out on Wednesday and came back this next Saturday and knocked somebody out again.
Yeah, this one said third. You're right. It's definitely not the record. I think Figueiredo's 21 days was the quickest turnaround in title defenses, is what I'm talking about.
Probably.
But regardless, Kevin Holland, 21 days, is coming back to fight Marvin Vettori, as Darren Till's out of that one with a broken collarbone. But the whole reason I even note that is because when Chimaev was on the rise pre-COVID, before the whole Leon thing, the only two people that called him out and wanted to fight him were Neil Magny and Kevin Holland.
Kevin
So
Holland called him out?
Kevin Holland they don't have beef, I don't think, but Kevin Holland absolutely said he wanted to fight him because they were both kind of bouncing back and forth, 170, 185. Kevin Holland fought Thiago Santos. Like, that's crazy to me.
You know, I'm kind of upset. In the welterweight division, they're kind of burying Colby,
I don't
bro.
know if they're burying Colby so much as Colby's burying himself in that one now.
Well,
He's
he
just
wants a title fight.
no, and that's what I mean. Good for him. I think he deserves the title fight personally. I think Usman versus Covington is a way better rematch than Usman v Masvidal.
I agree, and I felt
Like,
like Burn. All right, Masvidal won that. He deserved that one at least. Stepping in on
yeah,
short notice. Burns, he deserved a title shot, but Masvidal, Usman too. I, I would have rather seen Colby Covington, Masvidal too. I mean, he took him to the limit, and that would have arguably been a decision for Colby.
honestly, I don't know what's stopping the UFC and what's stopping Colby. Because originally, when Leon didn't have a fight, they tried to call Colby, and he said Leon wasn't good enough. So Leon's the guy right below him, I guess, or ranked 2 below him. What is he? He can't have Usman now, and he's not going to get Usman for, depending on how bad he gets hurt in the fight, like a little while. Why not do Colby Covington versus Gilbert Burns? I think that's the fight right there at 185 or at 170.
I'd like to see that. And then, the results, another rematch with Usman. But
well, and it kind of sucks because who's actually getting buried there is Wonder Boy. Like, what are we gonna do with Stephen Thompson? Like,
I like Wonder Boy, but I don't think he has the chops for a title. I don't think he has the chops.
Well, I don't think he's gonna beat Usman, but like, I don't think we need to. I think he deserves a good fight. Maybe Michael Chiesa.
Okay, Chiesa, or if Masvidal loses, which we're both assuming will happen.
That'd be cool.
Masvidal versus Wonder Boy, that would be that's a stylistic matchup that everybody would like to see.
That's Jesus versus Judas too. They already fought once. I can't remember.
That must have been back in the day.
Yeah, it was. But I think Wonder Boy beat him.
I don't know, dude. Masvidal has a lot of fights under his belt.
Oh man, he's fought a bunch. I didn't know that until the other day.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about our last fight from last weekend, the championship.
Oh, you want to talk about heavyweights? I love it.
Well, you were right. Francis by knockout. And no.
I didn't want to make that noise again. I just, look, not to be vulgar and not to, you know what, I'm just going to say it. I almost creamed my pants. I was at a bar, but when Francis and stuffed that takedown, and then he gets back on top, that was my favorite thing I heard in an interview all week, was they said, if he's going to try to take you down, you got to make him pay. If he's going to go for your legs, you have to inflict some damage. And Francis absolutely reversed, got on top, and then started landing some big shots on Stipe.
And look, can we talk about how his legs folded like a fucking video game? Like, I've never seen somebody's legs fold like that.
Oh, man. I've never been completely unconscious like that, so.
I would never want to be unconscious like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have no room to talk because I have no experience in the matter. But,
well, I mean.
I was about to say, you got to respect the champ for the fact that, like, if you really watch that fight and look at his chin and his durability, he ate a lot of shots before Francis finally, like, broke through and started inflicting.
More than a normal human being.
I mean, he went further with him than anybody has in the past 2 years since they fought last time.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the craziest thing is that Francis still has so much room to get better.
That was patient Francis. Francis was picking his shots, not bombarding him.
And changing levels, body, hand, head.
Yeah. Right? And, Stipe was saying, oh, my plan was coming to fruition. Like, my plan was coming in. Bro, no, it wasn't. Like, I don't know where he was thinking about that. Like, oh, it's tiring him out. Yeah, clearly Francis dominated the entire fight up until that point where he got knocked out.
Stipe just couldn't get any offense going. Like, it was very clear after he realized this is a different Ngannou. I'm not just going to be able to take him down and bully him on the ground. He was very hesitant to get into that fire zone. And then in the second round, when his team was like, all right, you got to get something going. Like, you got to start moving. And he kind of worked his way in there. Francis' right hand stopped him and put him right on his ass. Almost ended the fight with that punch.
Yeah. I can't believe he got back up after that, dog.
No, that was crazy. That was wild. The fact that I guess the patience of Francis, like you were saying, to not just go swarm him and jump on him, because like Stipe could have absolutely reversed it and inflicted some damage on him. Maybe ended the fight. Maybe we're talking about a completely different situation.
Well, he was all fucking woozy and shit.
Oh yeah, he definitely had sea legs.
And he went in, hit him, clipped him. He was like, "Oh shit!" And he took another step forward, a little check left hook. out.
Oh man, but now we got to kind of work our way into what's next for the champ, because I think everybody kind of assumed it would be John Jones, but what's going on? I think I saw a tweet this morning where John Jones said there's a deal done, and he was April Fool's in us all yesterday with his $8 to $10 million is not enough for whatever he said, but we don't know the date. And I was kind of hoping John Jones would get screwed in this situation and Derek Lewis would get the fight, or maybe Stipe would get a rematch, was what I thought before the fight. I don't think Stipe should get a rematch right now. I don't think Stipe wants a rematch right now after the fight.
Yeah. The problem with Derek Lewis is they've already fought twice, I believe.
No, they fought once, and Derek beat him. That's the best part.
Yeah, and it was a terrible fight.
No, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was boring. It was not great, but I think
both
it would
stood
be.
at ring and like, I don't want to get hit by you, and you don't want to get hit by me. So let's not do it.
Oh man, that was what Rosenstrike did wrong. Francis said, I danced with Derek Lewis. He beat me because I was scared. I'm swarming you.
I don't know.
I think Francis v. Lewis too is a completely different fight. But
yeah.
I'm not afraid to, say the Black Beast could beat Ngannou again. I'm not going to count him out.
No, I wouldn't either, but like I think it would be a different fight because it's a championship fight and it's gonna have a lot
I think
of hype.
Francis is better too, and I think Francis is only going to get better.
Oh yeah, but like I think both of them, the adrenaline will be pumping, and they're gonna stand in front of each other and be like, "Fuck, the whole world's watching. I'm gonna knock this son of a bitch out. I don't care. Like I'm, going in guns blazing."
Especially like for the heavyweight title, that's like one of the most coveted like belts to have in all of sports. Like that's one of the most highest. I'm not gonna say pay-per-views. I don't know about the pay-per-view numbers, but I feel like collectively the heavyweight championship over the 125 championship is probably going to be more watched.
Yeah.
No, not probably. It's definitely going to be more watched.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, because Figueiredo Moreno was awesome. So Figueiredo Moreno 2 is probably going to do pretty good numbers.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I went back and I watched Zhang Wei Li versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk again. Oh my God, that's such a war. And I was thinking, I was like, they both haven't fought since. And I know later this month they have the Masvidal versus Usman card. They have 2 female championships below it.
It's Zhang v. Rose Namajunas.
Oh, it's Zhang versus Doug Rose.
It's gonna be a great fight. And then the other one is Shevchenko is fighting Andreas something. No disrespect.
Andrade. Jessica Andrade.
Yes. No disrespect to the women. I want to make this very clear. I think the only reason that I have a hard time with the names and stuff is because who is going to beat Shevchenko? Who is going to beat Amanda Nunes? Like,
there's
5. They're going to have to fight each other again and again and again and again.
Like the level of competition, like there's the top of the tough. You got Shevchenko.
Excuse me, I gotta apologize. Andrea Lee was the lady's name that's fighting Valentina Shevchenko at 262 on the Usman Masvidal card.
It's not Jessica Andrade.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
well. I think they've already done war. I think they've already touched gloves.
Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, like I was saying, you got like 5 names on top of you. Like they're on so much higher level than all the rest of the females. Like you got Amanda Nunes, Shevchenko, you got Zhang Wei Li, Doug Rose, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and that's it.
Well, I just kind of think it's weird in the women's division how like once those like top ladies get beat, like they just kind of disappear. Like I'm glad to see Miesha Tate's coming back. And I know Chris Cyborg did her whole thing where she's in Bellator now because she thinks she gets paid better in Bellator. She wanted more money, but like Ronda Rousey didn't stick around. Like she totally could still be maybe not fighting for belts, maybe not doing whatever, but she could still be main eventing, events.
Yeah.
She could still be fighting talented ladies, but I don't know what that whole thing's about. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I used to watch.
I'm curious to see how much longer Amanda Nunes is going to want to do that if she just keeps winning, if she just keeps beating everybody's ass. Like
There's no resistance.
I'm telling you, they're going to have to do Amanda v. Shevchenko 3, and Valentina's going to have to beat her, and then they're going to have to do it again.
And like she's just so much bigger than all the other girls. That's why.
Oh man, I watched her knock out Chris Cyborg the other night. Her boxing is just so good too. Nunes' raw boxing, just man, she tears ladies up.
It's astounding that she's been
Anderson
beat.
didn't stand a chance.
It's astounding that she's been beat.
Yeah, that's hard to think about. Anyway, we gotta go touch on the big 170 fight that they did announce this week. May 15th on the Chandler Oliveira card, Leon v. Nate Diaz.
That's the first 5-round non-title fight that they've ever put in a co-main.
Yeah, on a co-main. I almost thought, maybe they'll make a Nate Diaz belt, and then I forgot, oh, wait, they already did that, and the stupid jackass couldn't even win his own belt. Sorry, Nate, but I'm a Conor fan.
Dude, it'd be hilarious if Leon comes out and gets his shit rocked by Nate Diaz.
Man, I just don't see it happening. Like, I know.
I don't either.
I just don't see it happening. I mean, Leon's boxing was so smooth for a guy that hasn't fought in as long as he has, and Nate Diaz hasn't fought since the BMF, and that was in 2019, right?
Yeah. It's been almost like a year and a half.
Yeah, he's got some ring rust, but Nate Diaz is that guy who's done this
He's
so
a
many
scrapper.
times.
You know when Nate Diaz is on fight, it's going to be good.
Yeah, and
He's one of the only ones that you can always count on like a scrap.
And he's that kind of guy who has to make it personal. Like, I think he's really a nice guy at heart, and he's not going to beat up some innocent little guy. So I think he's got to make Leon the bad guy to go in there and do business. I'd love to hear them go back and forth on the mic. It's like Stockton English versus the Queen's English.
Yeah, it would be pretty good, dog. That would. I don't know. Let's talk about Dustin Poirier tweeting out, I think it was either this morning or yesterday, a fool's gold and added Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira.
Oh, man, that was totally antagonistic, and I think it was actually a really smart strategy move from Poirier. Hear me out. Dana said the other day in talking about this that, Justin Gaethje still doesn't have a fight. So I think Dana's basically positioning Gaethje in his mind as number one contender. So I think Poirier was trying to come out and say, I'm the real champ. Y'all can have the fool's gold, and basically trying to say, if I beat Conor again, I get to fight for the belt, not Gaethje.
I agree with that. I stand by this. I thought Dustin Poirier was next in line for a title shot.
I think he should have been in line for this one, but he turned down Michael Chandler, and Dana said, well, we're not going to throw a title shot between you and Conor. We don't need to. It's not a good business decision.
I think Michael Chandler and Dustin, for my money, were the two top contenders. I know you like Charles Oliveira, but I
love Charlie Olives, but the more that I watch that Michael Chandler fight, and the more that I kind of watch him and look at him train and see all that stuff, I have a hard time imagining him getting beat, and I have a hard time imagining this being a very good matchup for Charles Oliveira. Like, Michael Chandler's not going to let him, A, take him down, or B, if he does end up in a ground situation, he's not going to put himself in a position to get choked out or armbarred or anything like that.
No,
Michael
Chandler is an elite wrestler.
That's what I mean. And if it comes down to punches and kicks, no offense to Mr. Olives, but Michael Chandler's got dynamite in both hands. Like, that's a scary, I don't want to punch him.
He fucking starched the Hangman Dan Hooker, dude. And I was like, I'm a big Michael Chandler fan. I thought that I did not think that he was going to do that like that. Like in the first round, fucking boom.
No, to be completely honest, I think specifically to and towards Michael Chandler, Dan Hooker, like Michael Chandler said this, but Dan Hooker might have been a bigger challenge than Charles Oliveira.
Yeah,
Might have been
I
a
agree.
worse matchup. So I don't
He's,
know.
he stood in there and boxed. I mean, Michael Chandler, he has power, but he's by no means the best kickboxer, nothing like that. He's a good, real good overall fighter. But
Yeah.
Dan, he's a fucking, he'll throw some bombs. He'll stand in the pocket with you. So,
No, Dan the Hangman's not afraid of anybody, and that's a fact. But
yeah.
I
His,
had
go ahead.
go ahead.
His fight with Dustin, like he stood in there and took a beating from Dustin. And
Oh
they
yeah.
just showed how tough he was.
Oh yeah. I would love nothing more than to see the Hangman get a good opportunity night. Like if Tony Ferguson loses to Darush, why not throw Tony Ferguson in there? That's a main event. Dan the Hangman versus Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Hangman made a main event out of Paul Felder. Like I think it could be done. I think it could be done.
I think you're right. All right, let's speaking of Michael Chandler, let's transition to a little Bellator. 255
Ooh,
tonight.
a little Bellator tonight,
So
Friday, April 2nd.
yeah, so the last person I believe that beat Michael Chandler is fighting tonight, Patricio Pitbull. That
Oh
dude,
man,
he's a dog.
I don't know if you read this, but Patricio Pitbull, maybe he was talking to Helwani, or he was talking to somebody, but he basically came out and said, I beat Chandler. So if Chandler goes over there and wins their belt, the UFC has to admit that they have the inferior organization and that the best 155er in the world is in Bellator. I was like, go sign Pitbull. Bring him to
Go,
the UFC.
please, please. I'd love to. Dude, it's thrown another just killer in the mix at lightweight if they did that, which I don't think they're going to.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Look,
But
you sell him somebody like we'll give him Stipe. Give him a big heavyweight, somebody to boost. Sorry, Stipe, but we gotta have Pitbull. We gotta have a one.
we're talking trade.
No,
We're
I'm
talking
talking
trade like
Bellator can
Ben
have.
Askren for Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah. We'll have Pitbull. We'll put Pitbull in with Gaethje immediately, and that's just how we're gonna make it.
I'd like that. That would be a war.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No,
So who does
Patricio
he fight
Pitbull's.
tonight? You're the Bellator guy.
Yeah, he's facing Emmanuel Sanchez. This is the second time they fought. I believe he won the first time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure it was a decision. But yeah, Sanchez is no easy out. It's for the World Grand Prix for the lightweight, I think, or
I love how they do that. That's such a sweet system.
I do like that too. I think
Especially like the way they have it at light heavyweight now, the way that they're stacked at light heavyweight. That's going to be awesome to watch this month.
well, it creates like it keeps motion in the system. I know we have our different thoughts about rankings and that, but it keeps fluidity and different matchups.
No, exactly. It's like you know who you're going to fight next, and there's no arguing about it. There's no negotiating it. It's the contract's already signed. You fight
Yeah,
this guy when we tell you to.
yeah, I do like it. But yeah, Patricio, he's gonna go in there. I'm sure he's gonna do work.
I'm sure he's
And
going to get the win.
I think so. I believe the next one on that card is a Gracie, Neiman Gracie.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I heard Big John McCarthy talking about this, but like the Nurmagomedov family is becoming the new Gracie family. Like they're rolling through everybody, and they
Oh, that's
both
what I
fight on
mean.
this card tonight.
If Islam puts that belt on, and then you see like a Usman win a Bellator
Oh,
championship,
okay. Yeah. Um, I gotta wrap this up right now. We'll have
yeah.
to finish this later, but
I was about to say we broke down, we UFC down, and I'm pretty sure we touched on everything we wanted to. So